guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to teach you anything about pronunciation. I'm mostly just going to talk about the story of how I became a teacher and how I became a YouTuber, I guess. I don't know if that's official, but people keep calling me a YouTuber, so I have a massive cup of tea to get us through this video. I hope you enjoy the story, and that's pretty much it. Enjoy! So, I'm going to rewind all the way back to when I was 16, so 11 years ago. That makes me 27, nearly. I'm 27 in a couple of weeks, but 11 years ago I volunteered to be a reading assistant while I was at sixth form. So I was essentially volunteering to help children learn how to read and practice reading and just talk to some kids who maybe didn't have dyslexia, but they just had an interest in reading, and they just wanted to sit and talk to someone and nerd out about books and their stories and things like that. And I really enjoyed that. I remember, one girl in particular. I even remember her name, but I don't want to say her name because, of course, that's not right. But I still remember she was so into reading. She was so into reading. And goodness me, 11 years ago, I don't know if she's maybe gone on to university and things now, which is crazy to think, but yeah, I still remember she was so into reading and so into books, and just seeing how enthusiastic she was. It motivated me in a way to start reading, and, well, not start reading, but read more. And yeah, she was fantastic. So we could say that that's how my teaching path started. Let's grab some tea. Okay, the next part. So after that, I didn't go straight on to university to do English language and linguistics like many people may think. I actually come from a more arts background, so I actually wanted to study graphic design at first. So I went on to do an art foundation course, which is basically where you do a bit of everything. So you look at textiles, ceramics, photography, printmaking, like all areas. And I loved that course. It was fantastic. The teachers were also great as well. And I didn't do any teaching during that time, but I mean, it helped me decide that I didn't want to go and do art, especially graphic design. I didn't want to do that anymore, and I decided to go for my second love, which was linguistics. I was really interested in language, I still am, and so I decided to go to York St John University, which is a small university in the centre of York, which is fantastic. I recommend that, anyone who's considering studying in the UK, they definitely consider York St John. The lectures are fantastic, they really are. I have nothing much more to say because I could make a whole video about how much I enjoyed my time at York St John University, but that video's not about that. It's about me being a teacher and a YouTuber. So, in the UK, a degree is normally 3 years long. During the second year of my degree, I decided to go to Spain on Erasmus, which is a European, although not all countries are European during the Erasmus program. So during that time, I basically applied to go to Spain. More specifically, I decided to go to Catalonia, which is in the northern part of the country, and I studied in a city called Tarragona. So I was there for 1 year. I wasn't supposed to go for 1 year, I was supposed to go for 1 semester, but the coordinator made a mistake and she put me down for 1 year. Anyway, never mind. I was also deciding whether to go to Canada. I was 50-50 between Canada and Spain. And if I'd chosen Canada, guys, I would not be making this video right now. So there are times when I do regret not going to Canada. There really, really are times when I think, I really wish I'd gone to Canada and studied there instead. But then I think about all the things that I'm doing in my life now, and I just think, this wouldn't be happening if I'd gone to Canada. So I'm actually really glad that I went to Spain instead. So I went to Tarragona, and I chose this particular university, and it's also the reason why I chose Tarragona over Canada. They offered a program where you could be a language assistant in a secondary school in the city. So I decided to do that, and I asked, okay, if I take this module where I'm a language assistant in a English language classroom in a secondary school here, do I have to do any exams or coursework or whatever? Do I just go and teach and observe? Or do I have to do an exam or something? And they said, no, no exams, nothing. You have just a little bit of paperwork to do, but that's basically it, nothing more. And I thought, great, okay, that means no exams. So I essentially went into teaching because of laziness. I didn't want to do exams, and I didn't want to do extra coursework. I just wanted to, get the experience, get the credits, and that was it. And I still remember my first day in the school. I was so nervous, and I guess many of those kids now will either be at university or working. I don't know, but yeah, that was like 6 or 7 years ago, so they will, be doing, I don't know, something exciting with their lives, I'm guessing, or hopefully they're still interested in learning English, and still motivated. I hope I didn't demotivate them during my time there, but yes, it was a really, really nice experience. I really enjoyed it. So if any of you guys who are in that school are watching, I hope you're doing great, and get in touch. It would be really great to just hear what some of the students are doing, because I never kept in touch with them. I mean, they were 16, so I don't know what I had in common with a 16-year-old then. Nothing much, and it's a bit weird to keep in contact with them. So yeah, that's basically how my teaching career properly started. I started doing that, and I did that for the whole year. And in the first semester, while I was in Spain, I really hated it. I just felt so uncomfortable and so out of my comfort zone, and I just disliked pretty much everything, because it was the first time I'd ever been abroad in my life. And to move away to another country and live there and study there and work there was very, very scary for me. And I mean, I don't regret it, but at the time I really hated it. I hated the experience. I was very unhappy. And after the first semester, I went home for Christmas, and I was speaking to my dad, and I said, Dad, I really hate it there. I just feel so uncomfortable. I don't have any friends. I'm not integrating or anything like that. What should I do? Like, should I come back and just do my second semester at York? And my dad said, well, what are the advantages if you stay in England, if you come back to England and finish your second year here? And I said, well, not many. I'd just be happier, and that's pretty much it. And he said, well, what are the benefits if you go back to Spain and you stay there and you finish a semester, finish the year, I should say, and do the second semester? And I said, I would be able to, continue learning Spanish and Catalan. I would, be able to put it on my CV that I lived abroad for 1 year, which is more impressive than 1 semester. And I'd be able to continue with the teaching. So it was actually the teaching that got me to go back to Spain. But in the second semester, it definitely picked up. I made some friends, and I integrated a lot more. I improved my Spanish. I learned a bit more Catalan, so I could understand what people were saying around me. And I just had a really great time. I really loved it there. And when I finished my year there, I actually cried on the flight back home because I really didn't want to come back to England, I should say. I loved it so much in Spain. I just wanted to live there and continue my life there. I mean, I could have just quit my degree and continued living there forever. It was just perfect. But of course I couldn't do that. So I came back, finished my third and final year of my degree, and to keep up that teaching, I got in touch with this volunteering thing, this kind of department that help with, jobs and volunteering at the university, and they said that they were teaching Turkish refugees, and that I could also teach there as well. So I joined in and I helped plan some lessons, I helped structure the syllabus, I helped, of course, give the lessons, and that definitely helped with my confidence. Let's have some more tea, because it's gonna go cold. So what else? What happened? Yes. So the Turkish refugees thing was fantastic. It was a really, really good experience. Then after that, I decided to go and get CELTA qualified. So if you're not sure what CELTA is, it's basically a teaching qualification by Cambridge University. It stands for Certificate in English Language Teaching to Adults. I did that, and I was also awarded a bursary, basically they paid for half of the course for me, and I got the chance to go down to the British Council offices in London for a little training session, and that was really nice as well. So yeah, thanks British Council, that was really nice. You have created this. I suppose you've helped create this and help thousands of people. So after finishing my CELTA, I moved down to a very small town in the south of England to basically be with my boyfriend, who I'd met in Spain. He got a job down there, and I decided to go and move with him. So after that, I moved down to a very small town near Brighton. I managed to also get a job as a teacher in Brighton, which was great, and that gave me some more experience. But after the summer, I was left jobless. I couldn't get a job anywhere. I applied absolutely everywhere. I applied to different towns and cities that were quite a while away, like within an hour away, and no one would accept me for a job. So I decided to try and find some private students, but people just weren't even willing to pay £5 per hour, which is less than the minimum wage in the UK. The minimum wage in the UK right now is around, I think it's £8.20 per hour, and people weren't even willing to pay £5 per hour. So I would get more cleaning toilets in the UK or serving people in a supermarket than I would offering my expertise in the language and helping to educate someone in English. That really made me feel quite rubbish, because it made me feel very, I wouldn't even say undervalued, just not valued at all. I thought it was just so disrespectful that people weren't willing to not invest in themselves, but just to be respectful that, I wanted to make a living as well, and I had to make a living. And I had a degree, I was trained in this stuff, and no one cared, no one cared. They just wanted the cheapest lessons possible, and that was not sustainable for me. I could not pay my bills, I couldn't pay my rent or anything like that, and so I had to get a job as a care assistant in a nursing home. And this was probably the worst job I've ever had in my entire life. Not because the job itself was horrible, the job itself was fine. I really liked the residents. They were old people and they were fantastic. Some of them had dementia and other problems, and this didn't bother me at all. I was incredibly patient with them and I really loved them. They were fantastic. And the problem that I had was more with the management and the boss and some of the staff. It was just incredibly bitchy, and the boss really didn't like me that much, which was a shame because I never did anything wrong to her that I know of, but she put me down at every single opportunity, and she tried to make out that she was better at English than me. Yeah, she really tried to say that and do that. So yes, if she were a native, I could understand that, but she was this miserable Polish woman. No offense to any Polish people out there. Pretty much every Polish person I've met is fantastic, except for this one woman. Of course, I won't mention her name. I think she's retired now, thank goodness. She won't be making anyone else's lives miserable, but I really disliked this woman and the way that she treated me. It just was very unfair, and because of this, it sent me into this horrible pit of depression, and I'm not talking about depression in the sense of like, oh, I feel a little bit down today. I mean, I genuinely felt like this was life. Like, okay, this is how life is. This is, no one cares about me. No one values me. I've studied all these years, and no one cares about that. Nothing's important. And yeah, it was a really, really dark, depressing, horrible time. So I can still remember one day when I was at work and the bitch boss, called me into the office, and she basically accused me of abusing a resident, which wasn't true. She basically did that to upset me, to make me upset, to see me upset. And it worked. Well done. You achieved your goal of upsetting another human being. I felt very, very rubbish after that. Rubbish is an understatement, but I just remember I went home after my shift, and I just went straight to bed, went under the duvet, and I just cried. And my poor boyfriend, he came in, he's like, Emma, what's up, what's happened, tell me. And I told him, yeah, the bitch boss has said this to me, blah, 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 gave him all the details, and he said, right, you are going to quit this job tomorrow. You're going to write your letter of resignation, and you're going to hand it in tomorrow, and you're going to quit. Now, of course, I had to give 2 weeks notice, so I couldn't exactly hand in my notice and be like, ciao! I had to, hand in my notice and still work there for 2 weeks. But my God, I was so happy to leave. I just, remember wiping the tears off my face, grabbing my laptop, writing this letter of resignation. It was so passive aggressive. I just, literally wrote like, dear bitch boss, I'm leaving on X date. Ciao. Bye. And then the next day I cycled to work, handed it in, and went back home because I wasn't working that day. So that was great. And yeah, I quit. But then after 2 weeks, I had no job. So I started looking for summer positions. And the problem is that if I applied for another summer job, that it would end in September, and then the whole cycle of shit would start again. So I had to change something. I had to do something in my life. And I said to my boyfriend, let's move, because I can't get a job as a teacher here. No one wants to even pay for lessons. They don't value me. They don't even care that I studied all of this. They just want the cheapest lessons possible. And I mean, I've got to live. I can't just give like £1 English lessons. I've got bills to pay, England is an expensive country. So he agreed, said, right, okay, let's have a look at that. I got my laptop. And I literally typed top 10 best places to live in England. Now, we did have some requirements. Like, we didn't want to live in Brighton because I feel like there's going to be no different than the situation I'm in now. If I couldn't get students in Brighton when I was living close to Brighton, then I'm probably not going to get students when I'm living in Brighton. I didn't want to move to London, it's too expensive. My boyfriend didn't want to move to the north because it was too rainy. And so that left us with Bristol. Now, we had a look at Bristol, we came, we visited, we really, really liked it, and we decided to move here during that summer. So as soon as I finished that job for the summer, I decided to move down to Bristol with my boyfriend, and we moved in the centre, and it's been great since. Now, when I moved, I applied to pretty much every single language school in Bristol, and no one got back to me. No one. So thank you to the language schools in Bristol that don't take the time to just say to people, sorry, we don't have any vacancies at the moment. Thank you for taking the time to do that. Yes. Oh no, my tea's cold. Oh, Oh, nothing worse than a cold tea. Anyway, so when we moved, no one got back to me about jobs, and I thought, you know what? Okay, I either need to start my own business, or I'm gonna go work at the supermarket down the street. What do I want to do? So I started my own business, and I've been running my business for the past couple of years, and thank goodness, touch wood, it's been doing really well. And it's been doing nothing but grow. So that's how I started my own business. I basically got sick of trying to apply for jobs and find jobs that just weren't stable. I mean, with many language schools in the UK, you're not paid for holidays or sick time or anything like that, or maternity leave. Not saying I'm going to get pregnant, but it's just something to add in there. You're basically paid for a certain number of hours, and you're normally on a 0-hour contract. Now, I thought, why would I go with a deal like that when I could be freelance and basically just have exactly the same situation, but I would have to put in the own effort to put in my own effort, I should say, to find my own students, and I get more freedom. I can have holidays when I want. I don't have to rely on some bitch boss to tell me when and when I can't have holidays. So I went freelance and started advertising. I also started my master's here in Bristol because I felt like my brain was lacking some stimulation. So I started my master's in English language teaching as well, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed my degree at Bristol, but yeah, I enjoyed some classes more than others. That's what I can say about that one. It wasn't the greatest experience was my time at Bristol University, but it certainly wasn't the worst experience of my life. That was when I was working in that hellhole with the bitch boss. And what else? Yeah, so I basically finished my master's. I got the highest grade, which I never thought I would do, but yes, I graduated with a distinction, which is the highest grade you can get, which is fantastic. I never thought I'd be able to even get a degree, never mind a master's, and never mind a master's at distinction level. It was crazy. But yeah, after that, I felt kind of empty. Like, okay, I've finished my master's, what do I do now? So I decided to start an Instagram page where I posted videos, and I was really nervous about putting myself out there on the internet. And I mean, I had full reason to be nervous because, I mean, for example, within 3 months of creating my Instagram page, I had a death threat and a gang rape threat because I blocked a girl for essentially being rude to me. But it hasn't all been super scary and negative. I've had I definitely have had more positive messages. Thank you messages are probably some of the nicest ones, you know, where people just thank me for the work that I do and the effort that I make with videos and responding to messages and helping people and all of this stuff. I would say that for every 100 lovely messages I get one asshole message, and there's not much more I can really do about that. But I mean, I just remain as genuine as I can be, and that's all I can really do. That's all I can really be, is myself and be genuine. And I just, yeah, started my YouTube channel a couple of months later, which I was absolutely terrified about doing, which is crazy because now I make videos every week, or I try to, and it's like second nature now. Now it's like, oh, I need to record a YouTube video, and I don't sit and panic about it for 10 minutes before I hit the record button. I just press the button and then I go. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much the story, yeah. I guess now I don't really know what I want to do. Just keep doing what I'm doing, be happy in life, and grow my business in whatever way that means. I haven't quite decided yet, but I would definitely like to expand my business, help more people, grow my channel, Not because I really care about all the followers and subscribers and likes. Honestly, I don't really give a shit about that. The one thing I really care about is that each of these views and each of these likes is a human being that has taken time out of their day to watch a video that I've created, and I just hope that that video helps them, it connects with them in one way or another, it inspires them and it motivates them, because I mean that's my goal essentially, is just to make sure that I'm doing just that. Just that I'm helping someone in the world, because we need more of that. We need more kindness, and we need more people to help. We need fewer people who criticize and fewer people who, I mean, no, criticizing is good. I mean, criticizing in a way that's simply just to put you down. It's not criticizing to help you grow. It's criticizing simply just to make you feel bad or look bad, like the bitch boss did with me. I mean, we need less of that in this world. We just need more kindness, more helpfulness, more genuine people online. We need to stop with this fake reality. We need to stop pretending that everyone has perfect lives. I've had people message me and say, Emma, your life looks so great, looks so perfect, you look so happy. But the truth is, guys, is that when the camera's off, it's not just for me, but when the camera's off, our lives as YouTubers, if I can call myself that, other people are calling me it, so I feel less bad about using this word to describe myself, but yeah, I just feel like we just need more genuine YouTubers out there who just show those imperfections and that realness. I mean, they don't have to go into so much detail, but from time to time it's absolutely okay to say that you're not okay. And that's basically what this video is also about as well, is that I'm not lucky that I'm a YouTuber, I'm not lucky that I'm a teacher, I'm not lucky to be in the situation that I'm in, I'm not lucky to have a master's degree. These things have come with hard work and tears and a lot of sweat while I was in Spain. But all of these things have come together because I worked hard. And I hope that this shows people as well who are watching that you can achieve anything so long as you're working really hard to get it. And that's all I can really say, and I think my tea is probably freezing now. Oh yeah, it's disgusting. Oh, like my life. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've learned a lot more about me on a more personal level. As I said, I hope this video just connects with at least one person. You know, if this video reaches, let's say, 1,000 people and it just connects with one person, this video was worth making for me. And yeah, that's all I can say on that note. So, drink more tea, be nice to people, recycle, and keep learning English. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Tea. Why am I drinking? I'm drinking it like this. Why am I drinking it this way? So weird.